sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com. And it is Friday, June 19th, 2020, here with your free live show. I don't know why I say free. Sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't. Of course, we would never charge for something like this. This is, we do it for the sheer joy. But, of course, I've got the Puck Dogs, Rod Zawacki and Chris Ruffalo with me, as well as Steve Monahan. We're going to talk sports news. Same story, different day in the world of sports. And as far as Ruffalo and Zawacki go, well, going to have some Bundesliga picks for tomorrow. Zawacki's got no Bundesliga for tomorrow, only Ruffalo does. And we got Premier League as well as La Liga. So really the good stuff. But we know it's looking like the middle of July. Baseball, the end of July, we know is basketball. I know there's other people trying to throw a monkey wrench into that, but we're not going to let it happen. Speaking of monkey wrenches, I'm going to bring in Steve Monahan. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. My son graduates 8th grade today via an online virtual experience. So,
well, I'll tell you what.
It's crazy.
I come from the non-8th grade graduation era, so it means nothing to me. I mean, congratulations on passing another grade. It's something I always struggled with. But it's, I just think that, it just seems that there's a graduation from every grade now, and it's, it's like
everybody gets a trophy, you know the era we're living in. Participation trophy.
It's kind of like when I go to a conference, and like everyone's like sits around and like decides like what sessions they're going to. I put a big circle around lunch, and I start there, and I just, I kind of move on from lunch and see exactly what I could do there.
But that's a very good philosophy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a good solid lunch to get the day started out. So like breakfast, sure. If they have sometimes they have like the breakfast buffet. I've actually done a live show from the breakfast at a conference, giving out picks while showing the steam tray table full of bacon.
Mm.
It's like a mountain of bacon.
It says here I could have all the bacon that I want.
Bacon and what did they have? They had all sorts of bear claws and things, like that. Cinnamon rolls.
Absolutely.
You get a plate. You fill the plate up. You throw some eggs on there. Toast some bread, maybe a bagel.
Yep.
Go down to the table, and then you get like a glass of OJ that would cost you about $35 in a diner. Then you go back.
Sure.
Absolutely. Like they're not going to have some, the pasta station set up at lunch,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if any of you have ever been to an Italian wedding, but man, it is a
lot of chow.
It is a lot like that. So we've changed our comments the way that we're doing them. Those of you that have pictures, regardless of if you're at YouTube or Facebook, we're going to let you guys join us. We're going to show your pictures. So let's see. This guy has a cricket player, Cool King, cricket, any bet slip and betting strategy available. We're going to give out betting picks. We got the Puck Dogs here. But first we're going to talk some Major League Baseball. Morning, Chris. I kind of like it with the pictures of everybody on the comments there. It kind of makes everybody real. Anyways, even the not real people. Anyways, Steve, we're going to play 60 games. Oh, we'd really rather have 70 games. It's
That's right.
Why can't they be in the same room? Or why can't this... Here, I'll let them borrow this. See, Sam is on my thing right there. 4:52 a.m. here, by the way. Why can't they just get on the phone and say 70, 60? All right, how about 65? I mean, how hard is this?
Right.
It's like I really don't understand it. I just
yeah,
don't.
they're going to get it done. but it's so silly. And again, it's unfortunate that we have to start our segment talking about this nonsense now. So, but if they do play, it's going to be mid-July and again, the end of September, regular season, and so on and so forth. So,
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's just odd, you know?
right.
You know, it's like, you would think that they would just want to get it over with so they know what they're going to do, you know?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they're
but,
losing, fan interest, especially from me.
yeah, me too.
I'm really tired of it now.
Me too, and I get paid to do this stuff and lose my
Yeah,
interest. So
yeah.
it's a really tough. I mean, we haven't made money as a business since March. You know, we're we're hemorrhaging cash. You know,
We need a tourniquet.
basically, everyone else has gone to like a budget of like 10 articles a month or something. I'm going full tilt. I'm like, let's cover esports. It's like, let's write it up. Let's do college football previews of games that might not happen. Why not? But the NBA also appears to be somewhat set. Once again, and it's just, to me, it's like the environment. It's because of some of the things that are going on out there, that it's like, because there's no sports, it's making the environment ripe for all these bad stories that happen in sports. And it's like, there's so many good stories out there too, so many. Yeah. It's like, they don't get nearly the publicity of the bad
That's
ones.
the bad. I get
it's
that.
like, and if you want Mike Gundy out, instead of just pointing out like every little thing that he's done in his life,
right,
then just say, I want him out. It's like, we get it. Believe me, outside of any shirt he's worn, anything he said in 1989, 99, 2009, 2019, anything out. All right, so 31 years ago. Outside anything that he said 31 years ago, which he made him a teenager, right? Outside of anything he said as a teenager, he's done plenty of other things. Right? I mean, he's lost a lot of big games. He's not like he's dominating Oklahoma or something, right? I mean, there's plenty of, it's like, if he was at Michigan or Ohio State and he lost and they were losing to each other as much as he's losing,
he wouldn't be there.
He wouldn't be there anymore. So
That's
it's
right.
like, if you want him out, just say you want him out. It's like, you don't need to dig up something that he said 31 years ago when he was 12. It's like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. It's like, it goes back to the, you're allowed to fight in a war, but you're not allowed to have a Budweiser. It's like, come on, It's like, I don't really care. Like, a lot of these policies, I don't agree with a lot of laws, and I agree with less company policies than laws even, right?
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, you got to at least be consistent, right? It's like, you got to be consistent. It can't be like, well, it's this guy, so he gets this treatment, and this guy gets this treatment. It's everyone or no one,
I don't think Gundy survives. I think they're doing a slow death with him.
So
I don't think he's going to survive this.
No, I don't think Gundy's going to survive either. It's obvious that they're nitpicking at other things to try and take away from him at other things.
He'll resign or something, and they'll have a backdoor deal while he's getting paid.
Where does Gundy end up? West Texas State? Does maybe Northern Colorado or something?
He may go to the NFL and be an assistant coach, for all I know.
I don't know. It's tough once you're branded,
Yeah, and he's branded. Let's be real here. It's not one incident. It's not two incidents. It's a multitude of it. You have their star running back, publicly saying things about him, and I think Gundy's going to lose his job.
So how about Hubbard in this case, right? So how about Hubbard, instead of keeping things in the family?
Yeah.
Taking it out in the public before he ever even talks to the guy.
I don't condone that.
Before he ever talks to the guy.
Right. But in today's society and the way things are going, you can't question Chubba Hubbard. And if you question Chubba Hubbard, then it's not good for you. So that's just the way it is right now, because it's such a toxic atmosphere out there across the country. So
Robert would like to see your profile photo changed to the with the bee suit on, please. We prefer it that way. But yeah, I just think that, in these sort of cases, is that if you keep it in the family and then you still, are getting, and then you're getting kind of like, shunned for it or something like that. Well, then you go to whatever. But instead, to do it this way, it's kind of like,
it's a little cowardly.
it is. It's more than a little cowardly. And
I know.
Chuba Hubbard has moved down on my draft board. That's for sure.
And then of course, throughout NCAA football, you have Eyes of Texas. University of Texas has to change their school song, and the Florida Gators, and on and on.
Yeah,
so it's just going to be a clean sweep over the next several weeks, months.
Yeah, and these are all
and justified. There's certain cases where it's justified,
absolutely.
And I think there's certain cases where maybe not so much. But I get it. I get it's a long time coming.
But these are not. These weren't. Most of these things that are happening now aren't things that should have been pushed by a football program or by a movement. These are things that should have been done a long time ago.
Absolutely.
So, Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Ole Miss University. Okay, and they have. Ironically, have a coach. Well, where did he go? Did Mike Leach go to Ole Miss or Mississippi State?
Mississippi State.
He went to Mississippi State. All right, so Meanwhile, here's the guy that locked players in the electrical closet. Okay,
I know.
So Ole Miss many years ago, and I'm surprised this hasn't come up. Ole Miss many years ago, Ole Miss in the stands of their games used to wave the rebel flag. It was like how at Mississippi State they ring the cowbells. It was like everybody in the stands had one.
Right.
And what they found out was that the black players did not want to go there because they were waving the rebel flag. You know what they said? No more rebel flags at our games, man. And it's like, hello. It's like, we're offending somebody. We're not going to do it. But meanwhile, the uniform,
right.
then the team name, I mean,
yes.
We talk about Redskins, Chiefs, and, Seminoles. It's like, the Rebels, and it's not like, the UNLV Rebels is another one.
Well, they're changing. UNLV is changing the name from the Rebels too.
Right, but are they changing their name?
Yeah, they are.
So Ole Miss, though, the detail here. So they have the blue shirts with the gray pants, with the blue and the red. Basically, the Confederate flag, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's their uniform is based on the Confederate military uniform.
That is exactly right.
So it's like, I don't,
I know it's nuts. So, like at University of South Carolina, for example, Strom Thurmond. It's called the Thurmond Center on campus, whatever. Listen, Strom Thurmond was as big a racist as you could possibly imagine, and I understand taking his name down at the University of South Carolina. No matter how much money he donated, Strom Thurmond's record speaks for itself. So there's certain instances where it's definitely the right thing to do.
So was was Jadeveon Clowney one of the bigger cocks out there, or was I mean it's like, so you could say it there.
That's a good one.
It's like, I mean, what can you it's like you throw it out there, and it's like, I mean, there's so many ways you can go with it, with these things, and it's like, it's like Oregon State. It's a wet one out there for the Beavers. It's like what exactly is okay anymore and what isn't okay. I try and just dodge the subject. I mean,
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I had a friend from South Carolina, and he was very proud to say, said, no one beats our cocks, but your cheerleaders can. And, that was pretty much, how he felt about the entire thing. And he also, of course, had his Gamecock tattoo down by his ankle, and he always said, I got a cock down by my ankle. So, it doesn't, it doesn't end with this stuff. It's kind of like, everyone's always gonna have a problem with something, but some of this stuff is just like, I can't believe that we got to this point in order for this stuff to have to, to change. And it's like, I guess it's for me, it's one of the situations because it is offensive to me. And it's
of course it is.
It's absolutely offensive to me. And it's,
and me too.
It's one of those things that it's like, it's sad that it took this to change it. I mean, Georgia is like, the Super Bowl, and they have the Super Bowl there, and the Georgia State flag has the rebel flag on it too. It's like, I don't. It's tough.
Well, it's not going to have it for much longer. I could tell you that.
Yeah, it should all be interesting to see the way that this one shakes out. And it's like, I think it's just an attitude change for the entire world that needs to happen, and
it's in the process of happening as we speak. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of happening as we speak, I'm going to bring in the Puck Dog. Steve, thanks for talking about a somewhat sensitive subject here and something that we try and avoid. And it's like, if you want to talk about the cocks, you could talk about cocks on this show all day long if you feel like it. What about?
I'll see you in a little bit.
What about Sedarius Thornwell? All right, bring in Rod Zawacki from his new studio. Got myself and Chris Ruffalo. Rod, loving the new look. Loving the new look over there. Definitely A-game material. Ruffalo, how you doing, Chris?
Doing well yourself?
Hanging in there. Yeah. So we got soccer going on today. We got all sorts of stuff going on this weekend. A little preview of later on today. Tonight, probably around 7 o'clock Eastern time-ish, 6, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to trade paint with Rod Zawacki and Jeff Jeter, talk about this weekend's NASCAR action. Jeff can't join us on Sunday, so we're just going to do a separate show tonight on NASCAR. Meanwhile, we have some Bundesliga tomorrow that we won't be able on the air early enough to cover. We're probably going to go – I did get an email from Anthony, and we probably are going to go with some kind of soccer show. I didn't email him back, but I think I am going to go with a separate soccer show once the rest of sports returns, to action. And I just think that, it's something that I don't know enough about, and I might be like a guest on the show or like having intro the show, be like, the come on down guy, or something, at least at the beginning. But as far as like discussing, most of the material, I think they're better people for it than me. But yeah, what do you want to? We have today Premier League and La Liga. You want to get us started with some picks here, Chris?
Sure. I think I've got 4. And Rod, how many did you say you had?
3.
Perfect. All right. I'll start with the first one. I'm going to take a draw between Granada and Villarreal in La Liga. Just got two of the more impressive teams so far this season. Granada's in 9th, Villarreal's in 7th. That's saying a lot for Granada considering they were just in the lower division a couple years ago. So 2 teams in good form. I'll take the draw at plus 220 between Granada and Villarreal.
Rod, what are you looking at? Hey, what are you looking at? You looking at me? You talking to me?
Totally. Here comes the first one. First one in the Premier League I like is Norwich versus Southampton. Give me the draw in this game. I don't see a whole lot of scoring. I see this game as like nothing, 0-0. One of those boring ones. Stayed in the middle of the field, kick it back and forth. Not a lot of action. Typical soccer. Give me draw plus 235.
Yeah, I'm on the draw there as well. I see it being a 0-0 or a 1-1 game. I think Southampton would just be happy to not lose to the last place team in the league, and Norwich needs points to get out of the relegation zone, but I don't see it happening. I see them canceling each other out. So give me the draw as well, plus 235. And then for my next one, I'm going to go back to La Liga. I'm going to take a draw as well between Mallorca and Leganes, just two teams in the relegation zone. This is going to be a stinker. This is going to be a bad game. I think this is the one for the La Liga that could finish 0-0 today. So I'll take a draw between Mallorca and Leganes at plus 190.
I love that one as well. I like Mallorca and Leganes to draw as well. I would even put a little bit on the final score of 0-0.
What else we have? Chris?
For me, my last one that I was kind of leaning towards, I'm going to take a shot with Barcelona at plus 115 against Sevilla. It's a game between two teams in the top three, but it's not often that you get Barcelona at plus money. So, and they haven't lost to Sevilla since 2015. Maybe that means they're due, but for right now, I'll keep riding that streak. I'll take Barcelona money line at plus 115.
All right, you, Rod?
And the last one for me here is Man U at Tottenham Spurs. Man U is I love Man U. I'm not going to bet against them here. I'm also going to take Rashad for Man U to score a goal. He scored in 19 of the last 20 games for Man U. So give me Rashford to score plus 140, and I like Man U money line plus 130.
All right, so you guys want to recap the picks here, Chris? You want to recap real quickly your soccer picks?
So for me, I'm going to go with the draw. I'm going to go draw heavy today. I'm going to go draw between Mallorca and Leganes, Granada and Villarreal, and Norwich, Southampton. I'm going to birdcage those three together. It'll pay about 30-1. And then I'm also going to take Barcelona at plus 115 on the money line. You can add that to the birdcage. It'll play about 65-1.
Rod?
And my birdcage, I'm going to parlay Norwich and Southampton draw, Man U money line, and Mallorca and Leganes to draw. Parlay those three together, you get about plus 2,100.
All right, so there you have it. So then tomorrow we have Bundesliga. Tomorrow we also have UFC, which we'll talk about on the show. We have a pretty good weekend of sports, of these kind of non-sports that we care about, but sports nonetheless. What do you look? I know Rod doesn't have anything for Bundesliga tomorrow, but Chris, you have anything that you're looking at?
I think there's 4 Bundesliga I'm kind of looking at just to put a little bit of action on. I'm going to take Wolfsburg to beat Schalke just because Schalke's on that horrible 13-game winless run. And Wolfsburg's trying to play for Europa League right now, so take Wolfsburg money line. I like Leverkusen to win against Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin, again, no, they're not going to be going anywhere in the next 2 games. And Leverkusen's trying to get Champions League, so I'll take Leverkusen to win. I like Werder Bremen to win against Mainz. I just think Bremen, this is the game they've had circled on their calendar since the restart because this is their chance to try to climb out of the relegation zone. So take Bremen money line. And I'll take Gladbach win to 0 against Paderborn. Paderborn, again, they're already sealed their fate. They're going down. There's no fans to play for the last game of the season. And Gladbach's trying to chase down Leverkusen for Champions League. So I'll take those. I'll take Wolfsburg to win, Leverkusen to win, Bremen to win, and Gladbach win to 0.
Sounds super exciting. All right, let's go to our Sim Picks section of the show and bring Steve Monahan back in here. We got all the guys together. So I'm going to fix all this so I don't have to click through everybody every time we come and go. And that was what this is for. It's going to have all of the things to change everybody around. I'll do a studio tour on Monday with Mitch, as we're wrapping up the construction of the studio. But what do we got? What happened yesterday in simulated football action?
So the Titans beat the Browns 24-21. The Jaguars beat the Falcons outright 23-20. The Panthers beat the Ravens outright 38-28. And the Packers beat the Saints 30-23.
All right, 1-3 for me.
Cool.
Solid
1-3.
I'll take 2-2 with the Panthers money line.
All right. How about we got any simulated hockey action today, Rod?
Yeah, today's simulated hockey. We got the Oilers at Nashville. Give me the Oilers money line plus 105.
All right. What do we have in simulated football action?
At 12, Ravens minus 7.5 against the Jets. Take the Jets.
Ravens minus 7.5 against the Jets. I'll take the Ravens on the back-to-back.
Jets.
Ravens.
At 3, Packers minus 3.5 against the Eagles.
Eagles money line.
Packers.
I'll take the Packers. At 7, Vikings minus 2.5 against the Chiefs. Take the Vikings.
Vikings for me.
Vikings.
Chiefs.
And the last one at 10, Falcons minus 3.5 at the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Take the Cardinals.
Falcons.
All right. Well, that wraps up our simulated picks section. Anything else anyone wants to add before we go off the air?
Dr. Fauci mentioning something about the NFL needs to have the quote-unquote bubble type of environment like the NBA and the NHL. I don't know what that means, but it can't be good.
He's an idiot.
It can't be good.
The guy's an idiot. I mean,
I know.
wasn't he involved in some sort of scandal, like with some kind of other thing that he was like some kind of mess of messes that this guy was like totally misleading information and all this other stuff?
Allegedly.
No,
Allegedly.
no, I believe it's solid proof on this.
No, it's more than allegedly.
Let's just say about the same level of as Mike Leach locking kids in electrical closets. But anyways,
Mike Leach is never shy of getting a new job. I can tell you that. He can lock as many players as he wants, apparently.
he seems to always he puts asses in the seats. That's for sure.
It's crazy.
It's you run the spread offense. You know.
That's true.
That's what happens. You know, people. It's exciting to watch. People want to see points. They want to see scoring. Even if they don't win them all, at least you always have a puncher's chance. And you know, you don't always see that. And you know, a place like Mississippi State was sat through the Dan Mullen era. You know, it's like they're ready for some excitement.
Stop with the Dan Mullen era at Mississippi State. The guy did a fantastic job at Mississippi State.
Yeah, 6-6 traditionally.
Yeah. Okay. The Dak years were pretty good.
Yeah, 6-6. They were.
Okay.
They lost what? Dak's senior year, they lost what? Their last 5 games?
Right, and let's look up Mississippi State's record for the previous 25 years.
So you're trying to tell me that Sylvester Croom didn't lead this team to greatness?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Sylvester Croom, one of the best Alabama players under Bear Bryant. That is correct.
I kind of like Sylvester Croom.
I like Sylvester, but the results weren't there. That's why he's not there.
That's what makes this decision so hard.
Exactly.
It's kind of like the John Blake era in Dallas. All right. Have a great day, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. We got a chock full loaded show. And, of course, I'll see you tonight.
Bob's got something.
What's up?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're doing the Belmont Stakes, right?
Yes.
So here's just a little prelude to that. Here's a best bet on the same book. Yeah, you can get this bet on the same book we've been doing the sim picks on. Love this bet. My best bet of the year, biggest bet, huge. I love this bet. Take Tapit to win, top 3, plus 115. Hammer this bet. This horse will be there in the top 3. I almost guarantee this horse will be in this top 3 in the Belmont.
At a mile and a half.
Love Tapit to win.
At a mile and a half.
No, it's only going 9 furlongs. It's the shortest race.
Oh.
It's only a 9 furlong
Well,
race.
that's not the Belmont Stakes in my book.
No,
What's
it's not.
what's another
That's-
contender, Rob?
Well,
That's what
we'll
they're
do a
going
show
with.
tomorrow. You know.
We'll be live before the
Here's
thing.
my Belmont picture right here. I know you guys can't see it. But right
That
there.
Big Red?
No, that's Secretariat.
Big Red.
It's Turcotte looking backwards over his shoulder from the Belmont.
That's the Secretariat's nickname, Big Red.
Big Red. There you go. We also have Big Brown
Yeah.
covered.
Tune in 20 minutes before the race, and we'll have more picks for you.
We'll have more picks.
And
for
go
you.
over every horse in the race.
We'll go over every horse.
We'll
Does
go
the race
over every
go
horse
off?
in the race, yeah.
Does the race go off at 5:45 tomorrow? Is that about right? Eastern?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Could be.
Okay.
Could be.
All right.
I think it's probably later than that. Normally it's like 6:30.
It normally
My
is.
God.
Somebody's been telling me 5:45 post.
That's probably when the broadcast starts.
Yeah, that was my
You
guess.
feel like listening to Jerry Bailey take the chalk. Tune in. It's like I really like the 1 to 9. It's like yeah,
I've had
Okay,
enough of you,
there.
Bailey. I've had enough of you, Bailey. Okay.
back on the horse. Man. That's all I gotta say. It's like, I mean, this guy's got an ego. I mean, for a 110-pound guy, he's got an ego about 6,000 pounds, man. My
Yeah.
God. I won a few bucks on Bailey over the years. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. We will. I'll see you guys in a few hours with Double J, Jeff Jeter from the shadows of Bristol Motor Speedway, and Rod will be trading paint, talking this weekend's NASCAR action.